Have you ever wondered why two people can earn the exact same salary, yet one becomes wealthy while the other struggles financially for decades? It's easy to assume the difference is luck. Maybe one person was born into a richer family, landed a better job, or simply had more opportunities. But when researchers studied self-made millionaires over and over again, they found something surprising. The biggest difference wasn't just income. It was psychology. Your financial future is shaped less by how much money you make and more by how you think about money, make decisions, and respond to opportunities. In fact, many lottery winners end up broke within a few years, while countless self-made millionaires started with almost nothing. That tells us one important lesson. Money doesn't create a wealthy mindset. A wealthy mindset creates money. In this video, you'll learn the psychological principles that separate people who build lasting wealth from those who stay stuck in the same financial cycle. These aren't secret tricks or overnight success hacks. They're practical habits backed by behavioral science and used by many successful investors, entrepreneurs, and business leaders. Let's get started. 1. Rich people think long-term. One of the biggest psychological differences between wealthy people and everyone else is their time horizon. Most people make decisions based on what feels good today. Wealthy people make decisions based on what will matter years from now. Imagine you're offered two choices. You can receive $100 today, or $120 next month. Many people take the money immediately because our brains naturally seek instant rewards. Psychologists call this present bias. It's why people overspend, procrastinate, and struggle to save. But people who consistently build wealth train themselves to delay gratification. Instead of buying the newest phone every year, they invest. Instead of spending every raise, they increase their investments. Instead of asking, "What do I want today?" they ask, "What will benefit my future self?" This small shift creates enormous results over time because of one powerful force: compound growth. Every dollar invested today has years, even decades, to grow. The wealthiest people understand that patience isn't passive. It's profitable. 2. They control their emotions. Money decisions are rarely logical. They're emotional. Think about the stock market. When prices crash, millions of people panic and sell. When prices reach record highs, those same people rush to buy. Ironically, they buy high and sell low, the exact opposite of successful investing. Why? Because fear and greed drive human behavior. Successful investors understand something most people don't. Emotions are temporary. Financial decisions are permanent. Instead of reacting to headlines, they rely on plans. Instead of making impulsive choices, they stick to proven strategies. Whether you're investing, running a business, or simply managing your budget, emotional control is one of the highest return skills you can develop. The goal isn't to eliminate emotions. It's to stop emotions from controlling your money. 3. They focus on assets, not appearances. Society constantly encourages people to look rich. Luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations. The problem is that looking rich and becoming rich are completely different goals. Many people spend money trying to impress others. Wealthy people spend money acquiring assets that generate future income. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. For example, owning shares of profitable companies, rental properties, or businesses can create income for years. Buying expensive items just to show status often creates ongoing expenses instead. This doesn't mean successful people never enjoy luxury. It means they usually buy luxury after their assets can comfortably pay for it. Their focus isn't on appearances. It's on ownership. Because ownership builds wealth. 4. They invest in skills before lifestyle. Most people celebrate a salary increase by upgrading their lifestyle. A nicer apartment, a newer car, more expensive restaurants. This is called lifestyle inflation. The problem is that every new expense becomes a permanent commitment. Wealthy people often think differently. Instead of immediately upgrading their lifestyle, they upgrade themselves. They learn new skills. They attend courses. They build businesses. They improve communication. They develop leadership. They study investing. Skills are unique because no market crash can take them away. A valuable skill can generate income for decades. The more problems you can solve, the more valuable you become. And the more valuable you become, the more opportunities you'll create. Income usually follows value, not the other way around. 5. They see failure as feedback. One reason many people never build wealth is because they become afraid of making mistakes. They avoid investing because they're afraid of losing money. They never start businesses because they're afraid of failing. They stay in situations they dislike because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But wealthy people understand something important. Failure is information. Every unsuccessful investment, every rejected idea, every business mistake contains valuable lessons. The goal isn't to avoid failure forever. The goal is to fail small, learn quickly, and improve continuously. Think about some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. Very few succeeded on their first attempt. What separated them wasn't perfection. It was persistence. Every setback became a lesson rather than a reason to quit. That mindset dramatically increases the chances of long-term success. At this point, you might notice a pattern. None of these principles require you to be born wealthy. None require extraordinary intelligence. They're all based on habits, decision-making, and psychology. And that's good news. Because psychology can be changed. Before we continue, remember this. Building wealth isn't about becoming a completely different person overnight. It's about making slightly better decisions consistently. Every smart financial choice becomes a habit, and habits eventually become your lifestyle. Let's continue. 6. They protect their time like their money. Most people are extremely careful with money. They compare prices. They look for discounts. They think twice before making a purchase. But they'll spend hours scrolling social media, watching random videos, or doing things that add little value to their lives. Wealthy people see time differently. They understand that money can be earned again. Time cannot. Every hour has value. Instead of asking, "How much does this cost?" they often ask, "Is this worth my time?" This doesn't mean they never relax or enjoy entertainment. It means they're intentional. They spend more time learning, building businesses, improving skills, networking, exercising, and creating opportunities. They know today's actions shape tomorrow's income. If you invest 1 extra hour every day learning a valuable skill, that's over 365 hours in a year. Imagine where that could take you. The greatest investment isn't always money. Sometimes it's your attention. 7. They stop comparing themselves to others. Comparison is one of the biggest enemies of financial success. Social media makes it easy to believe everyone else is getting rich faster. You see luxury cars, designer clothes, expensive vacations, perfect lifestyles. But what you don't see are the credit card bills, the loans, or the financial stress behind many of those images. Wealthy people understand something important. Real wealth is often invisible. Many millionaires don't drive exotic cars. They don't wear flashy brands every day. Instead, they quietly invest. They own businesses. They own stocks. They own real estate. They focus on increasing their net worth, not their social status. When you stop competing with other people's lifestyles, you can start investing in your own future. Your only competition should be the person you were yesterday. 8. They build systems instead of relying on motivation. Have you ever felt motivated to save money, only to stop a few weeks later? That's because motivation fades. Psychology shows that habits and systems are much more reliable than willpower. Successful people don't rely on feeling motivated. They create systems that make good decisions automatic. For example, automatic transfers into savings accounts, automatic monthly investments, a written budget, regular reviews of spending, tracking net worth. These systems remove emotion from financial decisions. Imagine investing every month automatically for 10 or 20 years. You don't have to guess when to invest. You don't have to remember. The system does the work. Small systems repeated consistently often beat big goals that are forgotten after a month. Success isn't usually one huge decision. It's thousands of small ones. 9. They focus on creating value. One of the biggest misconceptions about wealth is that rich people simply chase money. In reality, most successful people chase value. Think about the companies you use every day. They became successful because they solved problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more people you're able to help, the greater your earning potential becomes. Instead of asking, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I become more valuable? Can you solve a problem faster? Can you save people time? Can you teach a skill? Can you create a useful product? Money is often a byproduct of value. When you focus on helping others, income usually follows. That's why entrepreneurs, investors, creators, and professionals who continuously improve their skills often increase their earnings over time. 10. They believe wealth is a skill. Perhaps the most important psychological shift of all. Wealth isn't something you're born with. It's something you learn. Many people believe they're simply bad with money. But no one is born understanding investing, budgeting, business, or personal finance. These are learned skills. The people who become financially successful are usually the ones who stay curious. They read books. They listen to podcasts. They study successful people. They learn from mistakes. And they keep improving. Every new financial skill increases your confidence. Confidence leads to better decisions. Better decisions lead to better results. And better results reinforce better habits. That's how wealth compounds, not just financially, but mentally. Final thoughts. If you've noticed something throughout this video, it's that none of these principles promise overnight success. There isn't a secret investment. There isn't a magic app. And there isn't a shortcut that guarantees millions. Building wealth is usually much less exciting than social media makes it seem. It's about patience, consistency, discipline, learning, and making slightly better decisions every single day. The psychology behind becoming rich isn't about thinking you're already wealthy. It's about thinking differently enough that your actions eventually create wealth. Remember these 10 principles. Think long-term. Control your emotions. Buy assets instead of status. Invest in your skills. Learn from failure. Protect your time. Stop comparing yourself. Build systems. Create value. Believe wealth is a learnable skill. You don't need to master all 10 today. Start with one. Practice it until it becomes a habit. Then move to the next. A year from now, your financial life could look completely different, not because of luck, but because you changed the way you think. Call to action. If you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical videos on personal finance, investing, and building long-term wealth. And here's a question for you. Which psychological habit do you think has the biggest impact on building wealth? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.